All right, so I know I got cut off in the middle of that, or not in the middle of, but at the end of that last video. So I want to finish showing you the poster that I made. So we had left off with this strip diagram model, and we could see because they had the same area colored in and they lined up like that, that 2/8 was equivalent to 1/4, right? So then down here I made two different number lines. I made sure that the holes were the same size. The zeros and the ones had to line up. And then when I was making halves, the denominator says 2, so I needed 2 equal pieces, and 1/2 is 1 out of the 2. And then when I was making 3/6, the denominator says 6, so I needed 6 equal pieces. I started by cutting it in half because 6 is an even number, and then each of those halves got 3 pieces like that. And then to show 3 out of the 6, I colored in 3 of my 6 jumps, and then I could see that 3/6 and 1/2 are equivalent because when the holes are the same and everything is lined up, you can also see that 1/2 and 3/6 line up and they are in the same place on the number line, okay? But now I'm going to show you how to make your own fraction pieces so you can explore different equivalent fractions on your own, all right? You're going to want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different colors of paper if you have it, or just 6 pieces of paper, and then you can color them different colors with crayon or colored pencil or something like that, all right? And then you're just going to cut about an inch-ish, and it doesn't have to be perfect and it doesn't have to be straight, but you want just a skinny strip going all the way across. And if you don't have super good scissors that can cut them all at once, then you can cut them individually. But we see we've got strips, right? Okay, so then you're going to take, let's see, 4, 6, 8, let's say 4 of them. And you're going to cut them in half. And the best way to know where half is by just folding it. We're working with paper here. So you can fold it in half like that, right? And then you can cut on that fold that you made. And so now, if you take one of the colors, like I'm going to take my yellows here, you can see that they're the same size because when you stack them on top of each other, they line up. And we have 2 equal pieces, and I'm going to label each one. So this is 1 out of the 2 equal pieces, so it's 1/2. But this piece is also 1 out of the 2 equal pieces, so it's also 1/2, okay? So that's our starting place. Then you take one of the other colors, okay? I'm using red, it can be whatever color you want. I'm gonna stack them on top of each other. I'm gonna fold in half again, okay? So fold in half again, cut on that fold that you made, and then what we are left with is 4 equal sized pieces. So what we just made are fourths. Each of them is 1 out of the 4 equal pieces. So then you can label them that way too. 1 out of 4, 1 out of 4, 1 out of 4, and 1 out of 4. So all your pieces should be labeled like that, right? And then what you can start discovering is that if you take your 1/2 and then you take 2 of your 1/4, lay them on top, they're the same size as the 1/2. So we could say that 2/4 are equivalent to 1/2. Are you seeing where we're going here? All right, so then you take one of the other colors that you cut in half, and you're going to, just like we did with the last one, fold it in half. But then before you cut, you're going to fold it in half again. So again, that was lay the 2 halves on top of each other, line them up, fold it in half once, crease it, fold it in half again and crease it. Then everywhere that you folded gets cut. All right. So then what you end up with this time are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces that are all the same size, and each of them is 1 out of the 8. So that's the unit fraction that you need to make sure that you label each piece with. 1 out of 8, 1 out of 8, and on and on and on, okay? And then just like with the fourths and the halves, we discovered that 2/4 was the same as 1/2, right? You'll also discover that 2 of these 8ths is the same as 1 of the 4th. Oh, I turned it the wrong way. Turn it like that. There we go. 2 of the 8ths turned this way are the same as 1/4. Okay, so now we're finding some more equivalent fractions. And if I had 4 of my 8ths, I haven't labeled them all yet, and I don't have enough fingers, but 4 of my 8ths, I wonder if you can discover what other piece is equal to 4 of your 8ths. All right? So now we're going to keep going, and then we've got one last strip that we cut in half, right? This time we are not going to fold it in half. We're going to try to fold it in 3 equal pieces. So the trick to that is you take this left edge, okay, and you're going to fold it so that it looks like the edge there is now in the middle of that piece, okay? Do your best. We're not going to be perfect, but we're going to be close. And then you fold the other part over like that. So then we have 3 equal sections, right? And then you cut where you have folded, and you are left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equal pieces, and each of them is 1 out of the 6, so you'll label it 1/6 and 1/6, and on and on and on till they're all labeled, right? All right, so those are our 6ths. Then we have 2 other strips, and I'm not entirely sure. Oh, yeah, I am sure. Okay, so you're gonna take one of the strips, and just like we did for the 6th that we made, instead of folding this in half, we're gonna take this left edge and fold it to where it looks like it's in the middle. You see how this left edge looks like it's in the middle of this new rectangle that I made? So I'm gonna crease it, I'm gonna fold it over, and guys, you can get your parents to help you, or your older brothers and sisters, or just do the best that you can. So then what we've got are 3 equal pieces. Each of them is 1 out of the 3, so again, the unit fraction you're gonna label is 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. You cut everywhere that you folded, so these are our thirds. Okay, and then that last piece that you have, we're just gonna leave that as our 1 whole. So you can label it 1 whole. All right, so then you've got all your pieces, and you can start exploring with seeing which pieces are the same size as other pieces, lay them on top of each other. So I can take my 1/3 here, and I can take 2 of my 6ths, lay them on top of each other, and see that they are the same size. So we would say that 2/3 is equivalent to 2/6 is equivalent to 1/3. And you can just explore using these pieces to see what kind of equivalent fractions you can come up with, okay? Happy equivalent fraction hunting.